Game Night, 2018 comedy starring Jason Bateman, Rachel McAdams, and Jesse Plemons. The main pair of characters is a married couple, Max and Annie. They like playing games, board games mostly, but other ones too. They're quite competitive about them, and they regularly host game nights for their friends. One night, the older brother of Max shows up, and he's apparently been always been the better, more successful one in the family. He comes to the party, he embarrasses his brother, wins the game, and afterwards invites all the people over to his house for next week. When there, Brooks reveals that he wanted to take things up a notch, and so he hired the services of a company that organizes party games. He says that in an hour, one of the people in the room will be kidnapped, and the rest will have to find them. And then the game appears to be starting as the fake FBI agent arrives and explains the rules. But right after that, the house is invaded by actual kidnappers who take away Brooks, that's the brother. We know that they are actual kidnappers, and Brooks obviously knows that they are actual kidnappers, but the rest of the partygoers still think that this is a game, and they begin the search which will get them involved with actual criminals. Now, when the film was originally playing in theaters, I ignored it. I saw the trailer, I saw the premise that I just explained, and I thought, well, it doesn't look particularly interesting or funny, and instead it looks like it's going to be milking just one joke for an hour and a half. I could not have been more wrong. The movie is actually written and executed really, really cleverly and manages to avoid that trap of redoing the same thing over and over again. It stays creative and fresh throughout its runtime, managing to exceed expectations and pay off jokes that are set up as early as in the first 5 minutes of the film. There are multiple instances of seemingly throwaway lines and short jokes that later on turn out to have been building towards something bigger. And most importantly, they don't just work on a logical and technical level, they are actually really, really funny. I think my favorite running gag is related to Jesse Plemons' character. He's excellent, by the way, in the role. He plays a policeman neighbor of Max and Annie, and he's very, very awkward and creepy, even. And we quickly learn that he would like to participate in the game nights, but the couple constantly does everything they can to exclude him because of that creepiness. There's a sequence in the middle of the film that takes place in his house, actually, and the whole thing is just comedy gold. I was laughing my ass off. There's also another terrific sequence. This one is not so much comedic as it is impressive on the technical level. There's a long, single take chase scene in a big mansion with camera swirling around, moving between the characters, between the rooms, and even between the floors without cutting. Just great, great stuff. In terms of cinematography itself, I also really loved how there are several shots with tilt shift to make the scenery seem like it's a board for a game instead of real life. And 2 or 3 scenes are also shot where someone drives a car and the camera shows it from behind, moving along together with the car, very much in a way it would do in a racing video game. So the movie is very aware of and conscious of what it's doing. And you just have to appreciate how the themes of gaming are not just woven into the story and the script, but also incorporated in the visual style of the film. And speaking of gaming, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of fun references in the film, mostly to games and to cinema as well. I think if you do watch a lot of movies and are able to pick up on them, it's just all the more enjoyable and fun. Lastly, I think that underneath all the comedy and laughs, the film also has a surprising amount of heart. The chemistry between the characters is there throughout, and the main ones actually undergo some growth and development, and something changes about them. So, if, like me, you thought the premise of Game Night was stupid and one note, please do reconsider and give it a chance. I expected almost nothing from it, and I got a really competent movie in every respect, with great cast, memorable scenes, and many, many, many laughs. It is absolutely delightful.